Hey everybody, Eric here from EFBM Reboot, and here's your Monday edition. Well, yesterday I talked a bit about sugar cravings, and I'm guilty of the sugar craving. But guess what? There's also a salty craving. Believe it or not, there are people who crave salty foods. For people like me who enjoy sweets, that's kind of hard to believe. But there is real science and good information about it, especially people who eat paleo. So big in your CrossFitter world, people who eat paleo restrict processed foods. Also, people who eat clean restrict processed foods. And as a whole, processed foods make up a huge majority of where our salt intake comes from. Now, salt's not just found in things like pretzels and chips and things like that. Salt's also found in breads, cookies, cornflakes. There are all kinds of foods that can taste sweet, but really have a high salt content. So don't think that just because you're not craving something that doesn't taste salty, that you may not have a salt craving. And what this really translates to is a salt deficiency. Now, here's some areas that can be bad. A salt deficiency can lead to an inability for your body to regulate its fluids. It can also lead to potentially increased depression, aches and pains, inability to recover quickly from workouts, inability to stabilize mood. It's been linked to some forms of depression. And so what you can have happen is that if you're not getting the proper amount of salt that you need, it can lead to other things that can mimic bigger issues. So, excuse me. Tired, y'all. Excuse me. So, here's what you can do. If you find yourself craving certain foods, flip that package over and look at the nutrition label and see what's in it. I know I talked about this yesterday. That equation of for every 2 grams of sugar, divide that by 4, and that's how many teaspoons are in it. Maybe it was for every gram of sugar. Anyway. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to look at the back of that label, and something like a butter croissant can have 400 milligrams of sodium per serving. I know. So just because it doesn't taste salty doesn't mean you're not craving salt or not, that you don't have a salt deficiency. What you can do is look at that packaging, look at the label, see what the salt content is, and adjust accordingly. I think on average, most adults should be getting somewhere around 1,300 milligrams of sodium a day, and that's in your waking day. And most people who eat clean or eat paleo, they just aren't getting that. They really aren't. So what can you do? You can eat foods that are naturally high in salt. Maybe that's one of the reasons why bacon is considered such, the holy grail in the paleo community, because it's a high salt food, a high sodium food, without necessarily tasting salty. Also, don't think of salt as the enemy. If you're healthy, there's really no correlation between high blood pressure and salt intake if you're healthy. So don't be afraid to salt food to taste. And actually, that's recommended. If you're eating a whole food, if you're eating clean and whole food, salting food to taste is recommended so that you can, you're getting what your body needs. It's necessary for body function. I know one of the questions that people ask when they go into eating paleo is, what was healthy for them back in those days? That's not really the question to ask of what was healthy for Paleolithic people 10,000 years ago. The question you should be asking is, what's healthy for humans today? Well, when we have foods that are inundated with high salt, high sodium, high sugar, and you start changing your diet to eat a more healthy way, when you start changing to eat better, that can really send your body into almost like a shock, because you're not getting it anymore. So listen to the cravings that your body's having. Listen to those cravings, because, you know, typically a craving salty foods is a good indicator of a salt deficiency if you are already eating a more healthy diet. Now, if you're eating junk food and you're craving all that, well, you probably just are addicted to junk food. Try cutting some stuff out and see how it goes. So, but take my bride, for instance. We eat really clean around the Jones house. And we splurge every now and then. We splurge every now and then because, you know what, we like to. But it's not, you know, it's not often, and it's never that bad in comparison. You know, it's not the, I'm eating a whole Totino's pizza by myself, following it up with a half a bag of Doritos and 2 Mountain Dews that I used to. You know, for us, bad may be the indulgence of like bacon wrapped avocado or something, or just wrapping something in bacon. That's always a big treat for us. So for her, she's craving salty foods. And so, you know, she's never been one to really salt her food. And she'll tell you she doesn't really like salt on her food. But I guarantee you, if we were to look at the foods that she does crave, they would have a higher sodium content. So if we were to extrapolate that information, that data, and just looking at that one window, given all the other information, we could make an educated guess that she is craving salty foods because the food she's eating is already low in sodium and her body's craving it. So do yourself a favor, eat a little salt, table salt, and you know what? If you can find it, if you can buy it, pink Himalayan salt or Himalayan pink salt, sea salt, or just sea salt in general. Stay away. You know, we like to try and stay away from the Morton's table salt. So sea salt's fantastic, coarse or fine. If you buy it coarse, you can grind it, lasts a little longer. Or if you can find that Himalayan pink salt, it's going to have some great minerals, trace minerals in it that are going to be fantastic for your body. Plus, it just has a good taste all around. So you guys, don't be afraid of salt. Also, this isn't, you know, we're not demonizing salt here, just like I didn't demonize sugar yesterday. It's about understanding what your body needs and giving it what it needs and not in excess. So you guys, I hope you had a great day. I hope you had a great workout. And remember, we're just ordinary people trying to live extraordinary lives. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.